Okay, so that's a very profound question. This was before I was married, and I was in Zanzibar once. There were cages which were used in ships, which used to ship slaves.
I have found that if one has to lead a peaceful and happy life, first of all, one must love what one does.
So today we have with us Professor Karthikeyan and Professor Abha Chatterjee. So Professor Karthikeyan is a marketing teacher and has a corporate experience in the industry, and he is currently a professor at IIM Sirmaur. And Professor Abha Chatterjee ma'am has 18 years of experience in IIM Indore, and is teaching currently communication and critical thinking for managers at IIM Sirmaur. Having your experience of training thousands of students over the years, I have a few questions to ask that will be really helpful to students all across the country. The questions are mostly regarding improving their communication skills and also some good learnings for life. So let's begin.
Alright.
So, ma'am, what would you suggest students to improve their communication skills?
I would suggest that they read a lot. I get the feeling that people today have lost the attention span to read books, and I would really advise them to read a lot of books, things that they enjoy, whether it's adventure sports, whether it's novels, whether it's science fiction. Just read, and I think one should be disciplined about that. Maybe 20 minutes every night if you spend reading something, it will help you with your vocabulary, with the structure of sentences, as well as with new ideas and thoughts that will provoke you.
Okay, thank you. Sir, and what would you advise for students to implement as their habits would be?
Okay, that's a very broad question. There's no easy way to answer it. So I think she's right. You'll have to read. If you don't have substance, you'll never be able to communicate. So you should really work on building your substance. But you also have to start learning from others. So I don't fully agree with her in the sense just read books. You'll have to learn from those people who do it really well. So if most of the information that you consume is audiovisual, then perhaps a good idea would be to start watching good quality audio videos, right? So perhaps listen to the BBC podcasts or The Economist. The way they communicate their ideas, you can learn from that. There are also lots of YouTube channels today which throw out very good content. So if you could start following them and make that a part of your media diet.
Would you give examples?
So John Oliver is one. You should definitely watch John Oliver. I think I showed it in class as well.
It was in one of the classes.
Yes. So Shekhar Gupta, he does a YouTube channel called The Print. So he does something called Cut the Clutter.
Karan
National
Thapar?
interest. Karan Thapar does excellent work. And it just follow TED Talks. Every day you get something new, and it's from a variety of topics.
Okay, sir.
Perhaps there's something there for you.
So for both we can improve on our communication skills. Which leadership skills are difficult to develop according to you?
People management. And for that, I think you need good communication skills. I may be biased, but I think Karthik will bear me out that without communication skills, you cannot really tackle employees or even your bosses. That's what I would say.
Yes.
To tell the truth. That is, if you manage to tell the truth, no matter what the consequences.
That goes a long way. So one question for you, how should we develop on our presentation skills? What should be there in our presentations?
See, every presentation is a story that you want to talk about, right? You have everyone's attention. Everyone's there trying to get something out for themselves. You should really make it worth their while. So if you tell them a convincing story and back it up with data and offer everyone out there in the audience something to take home, I think your presentation is good. But if you are going to be reading text from a PowerPoint presentation, you'll really, I mean, you'll hurt yourself, you'll hurt other people, you'll waste a lot of time, and that's basically criminal.
Yes. So, ma'am, for you, which leadership lessons have you personally felt was invaluable?
Well, that there's some thinking about. I think yes, I agree with Karthik about being honest. I have found that if one has to lead a peaceful and happy life, first of all, one must love what one does, and secondly, if you want to protect that, you must always be honest with yourself as well as with others. Because despite all kinds of crises that can, or consequences that may take place because of that.
Yes. So, ma'am, but at that certain points, we find out that okay, saying truth might hurt someone. So,
So that's where communication skills comes in.
yeah.
Use words in a certain way, which and also I think your tone. You have to take care of a lot of things. Your feelings show in your tone. So if it's in written communication, you still have a tone. In oral communication, of course, you have a tone and body language. So you have to take care of all these things.
Okay, ma'am. And sir, one question for you. Over the years, marketing has evolved a lot. So, what is that one thing that has remained constant in marketing? What do you like to say?
Marketing has been evolving for over 100 years right now. And there's no such thing as a constant. And perhaps that is what has stayed constant, because there's no constant in marketing. In fact, that's true for a lot of things, right? But in marketing, that actually gives you a new dimension to look at. Because if you start getting comfortable being where you are as a marketer, then you're probably doing something wrong, right? So,
And so, what will be the future of marketing if we start from now? What will be the things that we should look for?
I have no idea what the future of marketing is going to be, but we will know little by little. But I can tell you one thing: at the center of everything is going to be the consumer. You really have to figure out how to add value to him.
Yes. Ma'am, what career advice would you like to share with students?
I would say please inculcate discipline and a good attitude, an open attitude to experiences, to learnings. That's what I would advise, because discipline is important in everything.
Yes.
Your career is what you make of it. So ultimately, everyone, and I'm a good marketer, right? I'm not going to say that there's one answer that suits everyone. It's not the case. There are some people who will have to work on their soft skills. Some of you will have to work on your hard skills. But see, ultimately, you'll have to enjoy doing what you do. Right?
Because you're spending more than half your life
Like doing it.
Yeah,
So if
exactly.
you don't enjoy it, there's no way you'll try to get better at it. If you enjoy your MBA program, you'll really do a good job. If you don't enjoy it,
Find experience or something.
you're going to find excuses and you're going to waste a lot of people's time.
And your money, not to say.
No, time is money. So you could do other things, we could do other things.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you love traveling, that I know. So, what is it that attracts you to it?
I think what attracts me to it is exposure to new cultures, new places, new thoughts, new ideas, new people, new ways of thinking, of course, landscapes. It's just unending, I think, what travel can offer you.
And which all places have you traveled so far, ma'am?
Oh, I think that's going to be difficult because
That's a thesis in itself.
it's going to be a long list, and I think we better not go into that.
The memorable ones, the memorable trips.
The memorable trips. Okay. I think going to North Bengal has been very memorable with the Jayanti River, and I trekked over to Bhutan, so that was very nice. Then the other thing that I really enjoyed was a visit to Czechoslovakia. So, so for different reasons, obviously.
And sir, traveled so far.
Okay, so I travel slightly differently. Don't go to the places that people usually go.
Oh,
Right? Try to figure out things that on my own.
so you're a solo traveler, is it?
No, my wife and my son, and now we have like lots of friends who do it together. But this was before I was married, and I was in Zanzibar once. And had a chance to go to a museum, and in the museum there were cages which were used in ships, which used to ship slaves from Africa to the West, to England, to America. And I had a chance to sit inside one of those cages. That transformed the way I started thinking about life. And travel does that to you. If you're in a position to experience things which others have experienced, a part of them comes to you.
That's true. And also, as ma'am had said to me this earlier, that if you travel at a young age, that has a bigger impression on what your personality becomes. So do travel, everyone. And so
Now you can sell your video to travel companies.
marketing at his school. So we are coming towards the last question. So throughout your illustrious career, what is the one thing that you like the most about teaching students?
Oh, I think it's the satisfaction of knowing that they've actually been able to grasp something which I have been wanting to offer them in terms of knowledge. That's what I think is most satisfying. It's a satisfaction which.
And about you, sir?
Every faculty will tell you the same thing. The thing that they are in it for is for the satisfaction.
And what is the one thing that you learned from it while teaching or something?
Okay, so that's a very profound question. I'm still grappling with it. So I would say, do you want to have expectations from your students? Does it hurt you? Yes, it does. But then there are times when they really hit it out of the park. And then there are times when they really like, you want to hit them out of the park. So it's a relationship that keeps happening. See, the thing about teaching is we do it every year. I don't have an illustrious career, so I'm just starting out, right? But I've done it for a few years now, and I already feel it. Because when you do it again and again and again, you start understanding ways in which you can communicate to young minds and how you could make them understand certain concepts and ideas, which is going to be useful to them in the end, right? Now, students, on the other hand, are doing it only once, right? Students would be wise to actually understand that faculty have done it before and they have something to offer them, right? This is not a game of outsmarting each other. No faculty wants to show off how much they know in front of the students, which is why, if you go to any of the schools in the US, the best of the faculty, the Nobel laureates, they teach the undergrads. Why? Because they are the people who are able to give that kind of wisdom distilled down at the level an undergraduate student who's just passed out school can understand, right? So we want to do that to everyone. And it's a humbling experience. Every time we try and teach, we also learn new things, because there's so many times when someone says something, and when I do a case, I'm actually expecting, like, would someone actually pick up that thing? And you give hints and clues and you kind of beat around the bush, and when someone gets it, you're really on top of the world. Your day is made. When I go home, if I'm happy, everyone knows class was awesome. If I'm sad, everyone knows it was a bad class. I don't even have to say anything.
And so that's all for today. And thank you, sir, for a lot of insights into your career as well as life and also marketing. And thank you, ma'am, for this fun and experience, which we learned a lot. I hope many students would have find this helpful, and I'm sure they will really find this helpful. So go out, guys, travel, learn, keep evolving, and along with that, have discipline in life. That's all we can add for today. Thank you.